It's us.
Yo, what's a good time? J Keenan, it's your boy Big TTK. We back with another video. Today we got each rapper or whatever in their respective gangs, what they claim, this, that, and the third, the signs, all of that. So, we're ready to get street smart, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, comment, share, follow all socials. Feel me? Let's run this video. Let's run this video up. I suck at speaking. I got a stuttering problem. You feel me? Road to 100 subscribers though. You feel me? We gonna get there. You feel me? Start small, but we gonna make it. You feel me? Big. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, though, let's get straight to the video.
Streets, but the streets don't
I'm gonna turn
let
this
you
fan
go.
off. It's cold as shit.
Every rapper wants to rap about the streets, but the streets don't let you go that easy. Like Bloodhound Lil Jeff, who gunned down his ops outside their high school, and a few days later hinting that he was behind the hit.
Gotta go. After that, poof. I came back, poof. Won't let them go.
And just like that, he lost his own life while sliding on his ops. The reality is, in drill, you don't just rap about the war, you live it. And sooner or later, you pay for it. Some try to escape, like Quando Rondo begging to leave the Crips after his crew got ambushed. But others double down, like Lil Durk, whose name stays in police files while the feds build cases on OTF. Then there's D-Thang, who just got out after New York tried to bury him with a conspiracy case. For every drill rapper who makes it out, 10 more get caught in the crossfire. Whether it's K-Flock sitting in jail for catching a body, or FBG Duck gunned down in broad daylight, the cycle never stops. Gangs and drill rap are so connected that one hit song can start a war. So stay with me as we break down 15 drill rappers in their gang.
Really got booked because of
Lil Jeff was a feared
jacket.
name in the streets of Chicago's East Side, repping Drill City Bloodhound, a crew known for its war with BKN, Trap City, Twine 8 Trey Mob, and 800. His reputation came from openly boasting about having over 10 bodies.
Say, look at his fingers. 1, 2, 3. How many fingers do I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 11. 11? This is something new. I wish I had 11 too.
Going live while dropping locations and displaying heavy artillery. Jeff jumped off the porch at 18 years old, following the path of his older brother, who introduced him to the streets. His name started ringing after the death of Z Money, a Drill City member allegedly backdoored by Trap City. Jeff made it clear that Z Money's death changed him, turning him into a savage who was ready for any kind of retaliation. On June 25th, 2023, Trap City's Leo, real name J-Lo Goins, was shot multiple times while getting into a lift ride in Little Italy. Jeff and his crew immediately went on social media, mocking his death and making it clear that it was get back for Z Money. From there, Jeff only escalated. On January 26, 2024, BKN members Montario Williams, and Lil Rob, Robert Boston, were gunned down outside Innovations High School. The shooters jumped out of 2 vehicles and opened fire, killing Monty at 17 years old and Lil Rob at just 16. Jeff didn't hold back, going live and rapping about the hit, making it clear that they were killed for robbing him.
I'm telling them we could keep this shit gangster and be gangster, and I respect it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Just keep this shit gangster. Niggas one gangster. Now look, they ass sad.
I got Percy and money all in my
Roses
pocket.
and teddy bears.
Jeff's self-snitching and reckless behavior on social media made him a target, and his enemies were watching. On June 8th, 2024, while sliding on Trap City's turf, Jeff was caught lacking. Video footage showed him chasing an op into a house, but before he could finish the job, someone inside returned fire and shot Jeff in the chest. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead at just 21 years old.
Shit.
After his house. But before he could finish the job, someone inside returned fire and shot Jeff in the chest. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead at just 21 years old. After his death, Trap City, BKN, and all his enemies celebrated online, mocking the fact that he died while trying to catch a body himself. Another case of a Chicago street legend whose name burned fast but didn't last long. YBC Dole was one of the most disrespectful and hated rappers in Philly, taking things to an extreme when he allegedly dug up an op's grave. His reckless behavior and constant dissing of the dead put a massive target on his back. And just one day after bragging about never getting touched, he was left dead in the street. On August 23, 2024, Dole and his crew were sitting in a car on North 6th Street when another vehicle pulled up and started letting off shots. Dole was hit in the chest and hand, and his homie tried to rush him to safety, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead at the hospital later that day. The killers torched a stolen car nearby, possibly to destroy evidence. That same night, another shooting happened just a few blocks away. Dole grew up on Philly's north side, but moved to the west side at 10 years old, where he linked up with J100 and Baby Ka to form Young Bag Chasers, YBC. Originally, they were just focused on getting money, but after their homie YBC Josh was killed in 2019, the crew turned savage. Within months, YBC allegedly killed a rival named Buddy and started beefing with 39th Street and the Mont. One of their deadliest ops was Fro from 39th Street, who was rumored to have killed a YBC affiliate named BL. YBC wanted Fro gone, and in 2021, they tried to catch him outside of jail, but mistakenly killed an innocent man instead. That same year, YBC kept turning up the pressure, killing 2 people in one day, Nasir Marks, a high school student, and Kanye Pittman, who was walked down outside his school. YBC wasn't just active in the streets, they were also dissing their ops in music. Reek 1200 made the track No Get Back, where he rapped about 2 bodies in one day. The ops responded by sliding on Baby Ka, hitting him over 25 times while he sat in his car. Then, they took out YBC Da Fetty, rumored to be Dole's blood cousin, sparking more retaliation. Dole took the disrespect even further, dropping tracks like So Many Names and McButtons and McNuggets, where he mocked dead ops, including Booga, a McDonald's employee who was killed just for being related to an enemy. In the McButtons video, Dole and his homies went to a real McDonald's, ordered food, and taunted Booga's death. Dole linked up with PNB and the Tortures, getting involved in beefs with Black Flags, CCK, and West Side Mafia. His homie Hop Out Blick later got locked up for a botched gun sale that turned into a triple murder, with Blick allegedly rapping about the crime before getting caught. Dole once said he wanted to turn things around and give back to the community, but before he could, his name got added to the long list of rappers who couldn't escape the streets. FBG Duck was the face of STLEBT, one of the most feared GD sets in Chicago's South Side. Coming up in the trenches, he built his reputation as one of the most reckless and feared names in the drill scene. But while Duck had the talent to take STL to the top, the war with O'Block and the BDs would ultimately cost him everything. Duck's come-up started with his older brother, FBG Brick, who was a respected member of STLEBT. By the time Duck was a teen, he had already followed in his brother's footsteps, putting in work for the set. He was known for fighting, and allegedly even pulled up to O'Block to scrap on their own turf. But what turned the South Side into a full-on war zone was the murder of Tuka in 2011. Tuka was one of Duck's closest friends, and his death at a bus stop kicked off a revenge cycle that spiraled out of control. A few months later, STL got get back when a BD named Odie Perry was killed, and after his death, Week City rebranded as O-Block in his honor. Rumors pointed to STL's KY and FBG Butter as the shooters. Duck took Tuka's death personally, and it shaped his entire music career. As the BDS started to blow up in the rap game, STL was right behind them. Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and Rondo Number 9 took over the drill scene, but FBG Duck, Billionaire Black, Lil J, and Wooski were making a name for themselves too. In 2017, tragedy struck when his brother, FBG Brick, and his cousin Kobe Mack were both killed. Rumors said that C Murder from O-Block was behind the hit, but no one was booked. Instead of falling back, Duck turned up the pressure, and in 2018, he finally got his big break with Slide, which racked up millions of views and put him on the map. At the same time, STL was still in the trenches. Wooski got shot in the head at Dooski's funeral. Even after getting shot twice himself, Duck refused to leave Chicago, saying he knew how to move safely. Duck's music was fueled by dissing dead ops, but in 2019, he briefly tried to change direction. On Chicago Legends, he showed love to fallen BDs like L.A. Capone and Fredo Santana. But the peace didn't last. 1 year later, Duck dropped Dead Bitches, a track that disrespected multiple Dead O-Block members. That song would cost him his life. In August 2020, Duck went to Gold Coast, an upscale shopping district, with his girl. O-Block got the drop, and within minutes, 2 cars full of shooters rushed across town. 6 O-Block members jumped out and unloaded on Duck, hitting him in the chest and neck. He died on the scene. Less than a year later, 5 O-Block affiliates, C-Thang, C-Murda, Muwop, Los, and Zel Muna, were booked on RICO charges for Duck's murder. According to witness testimony, a $50,000 bounty was placed on Duck's head, later doubled to $100,000. Duck's death marked the fall of FBG, And after he was gone, FBG Cash was the last one holding the set down in music. He dropped disses aimed at O-Block, including Computer Murderers and Steppers Come. But in June 2022, Cash was caught in traffic and gunned down. After Cash died, FBG was finished. K-Flock was on his way to taking over Bronx Drill.
That's
but
sick.
instead of
Gang, they wiped everybody. They squad wiped them niggas, bro. They squad wiped them niggas, bro. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I could see if he was like, if he was gonna be the last one and he was gonna start rapping, it's like, okay, you know, let me try to preserve the name. Let me not go out there and do no dumb shit. The nigga, I'm not even sure they knew who he was. Then started rapping. The first thing he do was start dissing them and shit. I'm like, bro.
staying focused on his career, he got caught up in beef, murder charges, and a massive RICO case that could send him away for life. Flock came up in Sev's side, 187th DOA, a block clique that includes mostly Crips from 280, 180 RGC, and HMC, with a few Bloods affiliated as well, while Sev's side is mainly a Crip heavy set. Flock himself was part of SMM. Not every SMM member rocked with Flock, especially since a lot of SMM members also claimed Drilly, a crew that had issues with him. Sev's side has been locked in a violent war with the Gunnas and the 4Zs, turning their section of the Bronx into one of the most active war zones in the city. Flock wasn't even planning to rap at first. He was just hyping up his homies B Lovey and Dougie B, but in 2020, they convinced him to hop in the booth. His first few tracks started catching fire, but when he dropped Is Ya Ready and Being Honest, everything changed. His numbers skyrocketed, and within months, he was one of the hottest drill artists in New York. But just like in Chicago drill, the Bronx scene wasn't just about the music. Almost every rapper was gang affiliated, and the street drama carried over into the industry. Flock was cool with E-Dot Baby from the OYs and Shot EK from the OGs. But that changed when E-Dot got caught chilling with RPT, one of Flock's opsets. Flock took it as a sign of disrespect and turned against E-Dot, dragging Shah EK into the beef too. Disses started flying back and forth, and soon enough, the violence on the streets ramped up. But while the beef with his former homies was heating up, Flock was still blowing up in the industry. In October 2021, he linked up with Lil Che and Fivio Foreign for Not in the Mood, which hit number 61 on the Billboard charts. Then in November, he dropped his debut mixtape, and Billboard named him Hip Hop Rookie of the Month. Flock was officially the face of Bronx drill, but instead of leaving the streets behind, he got deeper into the war. In December 2021, Flock allegedly killed a man named Waka outside a Bronx barbershop in broad daylight. At first, cops claimed Flock walked up, checked Waka, and shot him when he tried to walk away. But surveillance footage later proved that story was wrong. It was actually Waka who followed Flock out of the shop before the shooting happened. Flock turned himself in, claiming self-defense, and his lawyer argued that he had a strong case to beat the charge. But while his legal team was working to clear his name, the feds were watching. In February 2023, the Justice Department hit Flock and 7 other alleged members of Sev's side and Third Side with a RICO indictment, claiming they had been terrorizing the Bronx with shootings between 2019 and 2022. On top of the murder charge, Flock was also accused of multiple shootings in 2020 and 2021. At first, fans thought he had a good shot at getting out, especially after he hired Jeffrey Lichtman, the lawyer who defended El Chapo and John Gotti Jr., but the RICO changed everything. Now he's facing life in prison, and if convicted, he could even get the death penalty. The feds rarely lose RICO cases, and someone almost always flips. One of his co-defendants, Sticky B, claimed the feds offered him a deal to snitch, but he refused. But even if Sticky stays solid, there's a good chance someone else will fold. Fulio was one of the most influential and feared rappers in Florida. He came up as the face of 6 Block, constantly at war with Young and Ace and the ATK/1200 crew. But in June 2024, beef finally caught up to him. He was shot and killed in Tampa, Florida, while celebrating his birthday. Fulio, real name Charles Jones, grew up in North Jacksonville, an area known for extreme violence. His set, 6 Block, was one of the deadliest crews in the city. Fulio started losing close homies at a young age, and the bloodshed only made him more reckless. 6 Block had been beefing with ATK, Ace's top killers, and 1200, a crew connected to Young and Ace. Fulio's cousin Zion Brown was killed in 2017, and some people suspected Ace's side was involved. But things really got personal when Ace was shot 8 times in a drive-by in 2018, an attack that left his brother and 2 best friends dead. Jacksonville turned into a war zone after that. Foolio and Ace traded diss tracks that turned the beef into one of the most infamous feuds in rap history. In 2021, Young and Ace and his crew dropped Who I Smoke, a disrespectful diss track listing Foolio's dead homies over a happy pop beat. The song blew up, and Foolio had to respond. A few months later, he clapped back with When I See You, rapping over Fantasia's song of the same name. He mocked Ace's brother and 2 dead homies, reenacting their deaths in the music video. This was one of the most disrespectful diss tracks in rap history, and it escalated the war to another level. Foolio kept naming dead ops in his music.
Man, that was a year like right there, bro. Was it 2021? Oh my God, that was a year, buddy. This shit was popping off, and every nigga, every YouTuber, streamer, everybody was fucking reacting to that shit.
Dead ops and Bibby Flow, while TTK responded with even more disrespect. The music was fueling real-life violence, and both sides took massive losses. Foolio was shot multiple times throughout his career. In 2020, he was ambushed in his car, and over 100 rounds were fired at him. In 2023, he was shot in the foot at a gas station. Even though he kept dodging death, he refused to leave Florida, staying in the middle of the war. On June 23rd, 2024, Foolio was in Tampa, Florida, celebrating his birthday. He posted his exact location on social media multiple times, making him an easy target. He was hosting a party at an Airbnb, but the police shut it down. Foolio and his crew then moved to a Holiday Inn, where the killers were waiting. Around 4 a.m., gunmen pulled up and started shooting, hitting Foolio and 3 others. Foolio was the only one who didn't survive. The entire attack was caught on surveillance cameras, and the police believe it was a targeted hit from Jacksonville. Even the FBI is involved, suggesting that someone might snitch. After Foolio's death, rumors started flying. Some fans believed he was backdoored by someone in his circle. Others thought his girlfriend set him up, but she denied the accusations. A woman named M. Lee was also accused
that
of
shit is so brain dead, my nigga. He was giving the ops his location entire day. You can't blame nobody else but him. You can't blame nobody else but him, gang. I was ready to say as soon as he said that, I was ready to say that nigga wanted to die, bro. You not that dumb, gang. You can't be around the streets and be that dumb without knowing what you're doing, gang. He wanted to die, gang. He wanted to die. I'ma just say it. He wanted to die, bro. Cause you posted your location how many times? And on your birthday? Yeah, alright, bro. Fuck that shit. You can't blame that shit on nobody else, bro. Fuck.
Him up because she posted about his birthday online. Regardless of how it happened,
They trying to throw that PNB Rock card. He got set up. Just because she posted his birthday don't mean she set him up. That nigga posted his low multiple times. What the fuck are we talking about? Niggas be, yeah, alright, but niggas be quick to blame a bitch because they, you feel me?
Of dead ops made him a walking target. Von Off 1700 is one of the most notorious rising rappers from Chicago's West Side. He reps a crew called Toast Gang, also known as TG, a feared set that has become one of the most hated in the area. Toast Gang is deeply rooted in the legacy of L Block, a street crew originally connected to the Four Corner Hustlers, a gang that dominated West Garfield Park since the 1960s. Unlike other well-known Chicago sets tied to the Black Disciples or Gangster Disciples, TOS Gang's lineage is different. The Four Corner Hustlers were originally enemies of the GDs, and over time, multiple offshoots of the gang emerged, creating over 80 sets. In today's Chicago, past gang history doesn't mean much. Many sets claim to be EBK, meaning they have internal conflicts and will go to war with anyone. This is why TOS Gang has no problem beefing with other Four Corner Hustlers, like their rivals Black Mob. TOS Gang is involved in several deadly feuds, with their biggest enemies being S Gang and Black Mob. These blocks are dangerously close, with S Gang just 1 block west and Black Mob 1 block south. The close proximity means violence can erupt at any time. TOS Gang's beef isn't limited to these 2 sets. Because of constant losses and gang alliances, they are at war with most of Chicago's West Side. Vonoff 1700 explained in an interview that the West Side is so deeply divided that even distant sets from the North Lawndale community are clicking up with their enemies. He made it clear that if someone wants to be associated with an op, they'll meet the same fate as one. Vonoff 1700 is known for constantly dissing his ops on social media, making it clear that TOS Gang is actively sliding on their enemies. The beef with S Gang and Black Mop has been going on for over a decade, with younger members like Vaughn inheriting old conflicts from previous generations. In a No Jumper interview, Vaughn was asked about the Pushing Peace movement started by FYBJ Maine and Tay Savage, where two rappers from opposing sides called for an end to violence. Without hesitation, Vaughn dismissed the idea, saying he would never make peace with his ops because he lost actual family members to the war. He expressed that while others may have lost friends, he lost blood relatives, making the conflict personal.
How do you feel about J-Mane though, like with the Push and Peace thing? He had to like link with Tay Savage to make that happen. So it's like kind of two people that are from opposing sides.
That shit was crazy when I seen that shit. That was some weird.
You could never imagine yourself doing that.
I'll never do no shit like that.
Really?
Hell no.
You're just anti-peace in general? Or?
No, just not with no niggas I'm into it with. Hell no.
Motherfuckers hate the ops so bad, we won't even link up with them and push peace in the afterlife.
Oh, bro, no. I'm great on that. Like, that's some shit they got going on. Like, I ain't knocking them for doing that shit. Like, I actually, like, salute them for doing that shit to try to put a better image out there for people, but not me, not the kid with the glasses.
It's just too serious?
Yeah, I'm murdering their ass. Like, but it's different for me because I lost family. So a lot of people lost friends and shit, but I lost family. And then, so it's just like, it's different.
When asked about the death of his enemies, he showed no remorse, proudly claiming that his side was responsible. He even went as far as saying that when an op dies, TOS Gang celebrates it. TOS Gang's war in Chicago is deadly, and 2024 has been one of their most violent years. Pop Smoke, born Bashar Baraka Jackson, was one of the most influential figures in Brooklyn drill, repping Wu, an alliance of G-Stone Crips, 823, Bloods, primarily 9 Trey and other affiliated sets, and Wu-affiliated Crip sets. Wu's main opposition was the Chew, an alliance of GD-affiliated sets. The war between Wu and Chew played a major role in shaping Brooklyn's drill scene, with Pop Smoke at the center of it. Growing up in Canarsie, Brooklyn, Pop was exposed to street life early. At 13 years old, he was arrested for bringing a gun to school, leading to a 2-year house arrest sentence. Despite his legal troubles, he was a talented athlete and earned a scholarship to Rock Top Academy. However, he was later diagnosed with a heart murmur, forcing him to give up basketball. With no other options, he turned to the streets and eventually rapped. In 2018, Pop Smoke released his first song, MPR, which built buzz in Brooklyn. But it was in 2019 that his career took off when he dropped Welcome to the Party, which became one of the biggest Brooklyn drill tracks ever. Despite his success, Pop was still caught up in the streets. His Wu affiliation made him a target, not just for ops, but also law enforcement. NYPD had been monitoring Wu and Chew activity as Brooklyn drill became more violent. Many Wu rappers, including Pop, were blacklisted from performing in NYC venues due to police pressure. In January 2020, Pop Smoke was arrested at JFK Airport for allegedly stealing a Rolls-Royce Wraith, which was reported missing from California. The car's owner claimed Pop Smoke borrowed it for a music video in LA, but never returned it, instead shipping it back to Brooklyn. Authorities claimed that during his interrogation, Pop was pressured to give information on Wu and other gang members but refused to cooperate. He was released on $250,000 bail and awaited trial. Just a month after his arrest, Pop Smoke was shot and killed in a home invasion in the Hollywood Hills, California. Earlier that day, he posted an Instagram story showing designer bags, one of which had his full address visible. At 4:30 a.m., 4 masked men entered the house through the balcony, catching Pop and his crew off guard. At some point during the robbery, Pop Smoke was shot twice in the chest. Instead of calling 911 immediately, one of Pop's people first called his manager in New York, delaying response time. He was eventually rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at just 20 years old. G Herbo grew up in Terrortown, one of the most violent areas in Chicago.
Damn, no transition, man. Nigga, just skip right to the next rapper. I will say, bro, that is pissing me off, cause it's like these niggas is doing it to themselves, bro. Oh my god, bro, you niggas be doing it to yourself. Flexing is going on game, but do it smartly. You niggas is doing it to yourselves. And then his homeboy called his manager. Like, that's dumb shit, bro.
East Side, known for constant gang warfare between No Limit, Black P Stones, and various gangster disciple sets. He was affiliated with No Limit, a faction of the Black P Stones, which formed from two separate groups merging together. Despite NLMB standing for Never Leave My Brothers, in later years, the gang was deeply involved in street politics, with long-standing feuds against sets like Lakeside, Black Mob, and other GD-affiliated crews. Growing up, Herbo was surrounded by the realities of gang violence. He met Lil Bibby at a local youth center, where they bonded over music before both started recording in a professional studio on 79th and Essex. Their breakthrough came in 2012 when they dropped Kill Shit, track that put No Limit on the map in Chicago drill. The song referenced their environment, ongoing feuds, and violent lifestyle, with lines directly calling out rival sets. Around this time, No Limit's war with Lakeside and Black Mob intensified, with members from both sides regularly trading gunfire, leading to numerous casualties. Herbo's early music was raw and deeply tied to the streets. He often shouted out fallen members like Kobe, Pistol P, and G Fazzo, solidifying his reputation as a voice for No Limit. He stayed active in Terror Town even as his rap career took off. Unlike Bibby, who distanced himself from the streets, Herbo's refusal to leave the trenches led to several close calls and arrests. In 2018, he was arrested alongside two others after police found loaded firearms with extended clips in their limo. Officers claimed he personally placed a Glock in the seat pocket in front of him, leading to charges of aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. He was released on bail and later took a plea deal, avoiding jail time with probation. Despite trying to transition into mainstream rap, Herbo remained connected to No Limit, frequently referencing members like Mad Max, known as one of the gang's most feared shooters. Max was allegedly responsible for multiple high-profile hits on rivals, earning him a reputation as one of the most dangerous members of the set. Herbo's lyrics often detailed Max's activities, describing him as a real-life Call of Duty player, racking up bodies with precision. Herbo's biggest legal trouble came in 2020 when he was indicted for his involvement in a $1.5 million fraud scheme. Prosecutors alleged that he and several associates used stolen identities and credit card information to fund private jets. He pled not guilty, and the case remains unresolved. While Herbo managed to escape the streets physically, many of his former No Limit associates remained stuck in the cycle of violence. Some grew bitter, believing he abandoned them after achieving success. No Limit continued its war with Lakeside and Black Mob, leading to more casualties on both sides. Herbo eventually distanced himself from street activity but still paid homage through his music. Lil Durk grew up in Inglewood, one of Chicago's most dangerous neighborhoods. His father, Big Durk, was a well-connected figure tied to Larry Hoover and the gangster disciples, running a major drug operation before being sentenced to life in prison when Durk was just 7 months old. Back on the outside, Durk focused on building his rap career. He dropped Sneak Dissin' and I'm a Hitter, gaining traction in the city. His first mixtape in 2011 started to build his buzz, but in 2012, L's anthem changed everything. The song dissed rival GD sets like Brick Squad and Wooga World, fueling tensions that led to deadly retaliation. Lil Jojo responded with 300 KBDK, taking direct shots at Durk and the BDs. Shortly after, Jojo was shot and killed, escalating the war between BDs and GDs to a new level. By 2020, Durk was finally breaking into the mainstream, dropping Laugh Now Cry Later with Drake, which took his career to the next level. But while his music was peaking, tragedy struck. King Von was shot and killed in Atlanta after a fight with Quando Rondo's crew. Von's death hit Durk hard. The police linked Lil Durk to the unaliving of Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Pop, because Quando Rondo was involved in the unaliving of King Von. Investigators claim Durk put a hit out on Quando Rondo with text messages from suspects discussing payment and references to OTF. Lyrics from Durk's track Aha was cited as evidence, along with messages where the alleged shooters talked about waiting for Durk to arrive in the city to get paid. Durk's lawyers tried to use his 2019 case as proof that he wasn't a flight risk, but this time was different. When the feds started closing in, Durk allegedly tried to flee the country, booking flights to Dubai, Switzerland, and Italy before getting caught. Another rumor circulating involves OTF Jam, a longtime associate of Durk, who was allegedly pressured into cooperating with the feds. Some claim Durk ordered a hit on Jam's baby mama. With witnesses allegedly cooperating and the feds gathering evidence, it's looking like Durk will be tied to even more charges before his trial starts. As of now, Durk remains locked up. D-Thang, one of the biggest names in Bronx drill, is officially
not getting out. I remember I seen something when they said buddy that was cooperating, that nigga been wearing a wire for like 10 years, something like that. The nigga's been wearing a wire for years. He's not getting out, bro.
Actually free after serving time on conspiracy and weapons charges. He was released in early 2024, much earlier than expected, after originally facing up to 115 years in prison. His return to the streets has already sparked conversations about what's next for him and whether he'll be able to pick up where he left off in the Bronx drill scene. Coming up in River Park Towers, RPT, D-Thang built his name through aggressive diss tracks and his involvement in the long-standing war between the YGZ, Young Gunners, and their main rivals, DOA, led by K-Flock. Despite being blood cousins, D-Thang and K-Flock became two of the Bronx's biggest enemies, turning their family ties into one of the most publicized beefs in drill music. Diss tracks and real-life violence between their crews turned the Bronx into one of the most dangerous drill hubs in the country. D-Thang's music career skyrocketed in 2020 with hits like Caution and Talk Facts, which called out his ops by name and fueled even more tension in the streets. RPT was already active, but D-Thang's music gave them a bigger platform, drawing the attention of both fans and law enforcement.
They was gonna talk
the
about
NYPD had been monitoring Bronx drill rappers closely, looking for any connection between their lyrics and real-world crimes. In May 2022, authorities made their move, issuing a 65-count indictment against D-Thang and 22 other RPT members. The charges included conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, and weapons possession. Prosecutors accused RPT members of being involved in at least 6 shootings, with evidence linking them to guns that had been flaunted on social media and in music videos. They also faced an animal cruelty charge after a live stream surfaced, showing RPT members allegedly beating a pigeon, claiming it symbolized a crip from a rival neighborhood. While locked up in Rikers Island, D-Thang allegedly got caught up in more drama. Reports claimed he and several YG's members jumped a Crip inmate as the gang war from the streets continued inside the jail. Despite the heavy charges and potential for a long sentence, D-Thang managed to strike a plea deal that got him a much shorter bid, and he is now back on the streets. With his release, Bronx Drill is watching closely to see what happens next. The scene has changed since he got locked up. Many rappers have fallen off, while others have leveled up. If you like this video, click on the card to watch a similar video to this one.
Yo, appreciate you for watching. A lot of thoughts. I ain't gonna lie. This shit was entertaining, informing. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for watching me. Letting me eat in front of y'all face and shit. I'm hungry as hell. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Road to 100. You feel me? Follow us. We gonna keep these uploads coming. Peace. Love y'all.
Okay. It's us.